Good Wednesday morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to start learning about algorithms, flowcharts. Probably do that for the next couple days. Before we start, though, I want to point something out. This is the screen or the slide that will have the screencast once I've finished creating it. What I've started doing about a week or two ago is putting this in the bottom left. So if you're ever behind on an assignment and want to find the screencast that explains the assignment, just look at the bottom of the screen and you'll know which screencast is attached to which assignment. All right. So what is an algorithm? It's basically step-by-step instructions to do something. Over here we have a recipe for a cake. So here's the recipe part. Here is the flowchart part where you mix the ingredients, spread it in a pan, bake it at 350. You test with a fork. And if it's not ready, meaning some of the batter is still stuck to the fork, go back here, bake some more. Once it is ready, where the fork comes out clean, remove the cake from the oven, let it cool, and then you eat it. This is actually written in code, which we're not going to dive into just yet, but it is interesting to kind of see how something like this can be written in code, basically as an algorithm. So algorithms with computers or math are very detailed, and they resolve any ambiguities we take for granted. We're going to talk a little bit about those ambiguities in a moment, but with a computer, as you know, you have to be very specific. You can't assume anything, you can't take anything for granted, because the computer can't make that same assumptions that perhaps you are. So what the assignment for today will be is picking an interesting task, a common task, and you're going to approach it algorithmically, breaking it down to a level that a computer might understand. We're not going to write it code like this, but more like this. So here's an example. First of all, bonus points if you can name the movie. So our algorithm is going to be calling a friend on a landline phone. We have an input, we have an output, and we have assumptions. So the input is you'll be inputting the telephone number of your friend. The output, the result that you're hoping for, is a conversation with your friend. And these assumptions, this goes back to where we talked about ambiguity, doing things that or taking for granted certain things within your process or your algorithm. So I've listed 3 assumptions that we've made here. We're going to assume that the phone bill's been paid. Excuse me. We're going to assume the phone lines are in service, and we'll assume you have your friend's phone number. There's a million other assumptions you can make, but these are just 3 that I've chosen. Because the computer can't assume that you have a working phone, that the lines are in service, or that you have your friend's phone number. So those are some assumptions we're going to make. So here are the steps of your algorithm. First, you're going to pick up the phone and listen for a dial tone. If you've used a landline phone, you know you have to do that. Press or dial each digit of the phone number on the phone. Step 3, if it's busy, hang up, wait 5 minutes, jump back to step 1. Otherwise, if it's not busy, perhaps no one answers. You'll leave a message, and another assumption you can make is that your friend has voicemail set up. Leave a message, jump to step 7, which is hang up the phone. Otherwise, if it's not busy, or if someone does answer, another thing that could happen is there's no answering machine, or no voicemail set up. Hang up, wait for 2 hours, and jump to step 1. So press or dial. If it's not busy, if someone answers, or if there's an answering machine, which you don't have to worry about, because if someone answers, you're going to skip step 5. You're going to talk to your friend and hang up the phone. So pretty simple there. 7 steps. As you can see with this, you can take this parts of the recipe, and these would be your steps of your algorithm. All right, so here is the actual assignment. You're going to pick an everyday or interesting task, create an algorithm that explains how to do it. So you'll need to specify what is the output if there's an input, like the ingredients in the recipe. The process by which you operate on that input to produce or accomplish the task, which then is the output. In this case, it would be the cake. So we have the input, we have the process, which is the steps to do that, the output, and then 3 assumptions, like I made here. So maybe assumptions for baking cake are you have the ingredients necessary, you have a working stove, and you're not allergic to chocolate cake. You can't use those. Those are examples. Okay, so what you're going to turn in is on a Google Doc, create your algorithm. You create your algorithm up. What does that mean? Using the example on slide 10 as a template. So here is slide 10. You will have this, your algorithm. You'll have your input, you'll have your output, you'll have your 3 assumptions, and you'll have your steps. Name your task, the algorithm describes, the input and the output, 3 assumptions, and then list the steps involved, numbering each step. So literally do this. Copy and paste this if you need to, but have algorithm, have input, have output, have 3 assumptions, have steps. Let me say it again. Literally do this. Have algorithm, have input, have output, have 3 steps, 3 assumptions, have steps. And that will be due by midnight tonight. As always, any questions, please let me know. Thank you.